So what's worse, crucifixion or TikTok theology?
Oh man, very different categories, but like, crucifixion was brutal, but at least they had some like closure.
Is our universe real?
It's just ideas. They're just ideas. Now. You are tuned in to the Cosmidelic Download. You are all, everything is divine. There's no thing
With your host,
Poetry legend, philosopher,
Marc Marcel.
I love it.
All right, dude, let's shred.
All right, we are plugged in to the Cosmidelic download, and man, this is a very monumental day and special moment for me and for the podcast. I have with me probably the most recognized name in history. Although Donald Trump is giving you a good run for your money, I don't know how you feel about that, but JC, Jesus of Nazareth, you go without any introduction. I thank you for being here, man.
What up, dudes? Wow, that was a hell of an intro, and yikes is all I have to say. Wow. Much appreciated. Thanks for having me on. I will throw the caveat that maybe just famous in the West. It's a little Western point of view, you know what I mean?
Well, it is. I mean, you're pretty famous in the East too. Just maybe infamous.
Yeah, word. Made my rounds for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, thanks for having me on, man. I dig the show.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You been watching?
Yeah, dude. I catch it sometimes. It pops up on the feed. See some trippy combos with AI. It's wild world out there.
You saw that? You saw
Yeah,
the AI
yeah,
combo?
dude. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no doubt.
For sure.
Well, dude, I don't. Let's get right into it. So I'm just gonna come right in. I'm gonna get cosmic with this. So, and forgive me, but I'm trying to get in there. But the birth story.
Whoa.
Was it a miracle or is it like just great marketing?
Damn, dude, you're just like hucking me right in the fire, dude. No like foreplay. Damn. All right. For sure. I mean, this is like one of the number one questions. Like people want to know. So like, let's be real. Immaculate conception or something else. I mean, today's lens, it like sounds like somebody needed like a cover story, before Instagram, the whole thing, like the whole nativity scene. Dude, marketing gold. You want a sticky story like that thing like took over. I mean, that was like viral before viral was a thing, You had these like shepherds for like blue collar audience dudes. Then you got the wise men for the intellectual crowd. You got the star for the celestial branding. I mean, this sounds like so whack, but like I'm doing this trying to do like a new tone for the new world. Like I'm aware of the times, but like
Right.
I was the first influencer before influencers were a thing, Miracle. Yeah, sure. If you count like surviving being born in a barn surrounded by like goat shit. But yeah, like, it was part miracle, part like really good story. And you can't fault that because nobody forgets it.
Did your mother tell you that? Where did this come from? Who told you that? Anybody tell you this? Or?
Everybody, I mean, it's written everywhere. People are always talking like, mom is a little cagey because like mostly grew up with stepdad and like he was cool with the whole thing. But like, I mean, put yourself in Joe's shoes, dude. Like, what would you say? Your woman like comes back and she's like preggo and you're like, Mary, what's up? And she's like, immaculate conception, like God chose me. And you're like, for sure, but like one eyebrow raised. It took a lot of years to prove that too.
I mean, no offense, but that sounds like a great excuse for some chicks that just go to frat parties.
All right. This is my mom we're talking about. So like,
I'm just saying, man. That's.
Also, they did not have frats back then. But Greek life was a whole different thing, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, I'm
Dudes
just
in
saying, if a
bathhouses.
chick I was dating, said, just turned up pregnant and was like, hey, like, I wasn't doing nothing. Like, it just happened. I mean,
Word.
yeah.
No, he was a trusting dude, my stepdad, but my real dad's real hard ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like back in his angry Old Testament days, like thunderbolts and lightning shit. Dude is fierce with a belt.
Well, it seemed like he had a change of heart,
Yeah, or just needed change of branding,
Yeah. Well, speaking of Brandon, I want to get on the Last Supper. If you were having the Last Supper today, and like modernized, like what would you say to your disciples?
Oh, dude, man, that's like a whole different thing, And again, like this is a different time, I mean, first of all, we'd up the steez. It'd be like, like a rooftop Airbnb in like Venice, like sushi, like flights of wine tasting, maybe some edibles, like have the crew. Today it'd probably be live streamed, because that's just like the way things are going. But honestly, I'd be trying to get through to them that like this is a message that needs to get out to people like way more, right? So like I would be saying right now people are freaking out, like things are weird. I would be saying like this is not the end of times. You're in the in-between of times. Like there are straight up glitches in the matrix happening. Everybody's been seeing it. Everybody's been talking about it. You've been talking about it. And we're kind of like in the great awkward puberty of human consciousness, like we're coming through some shit. And so I just say like, brace yourselves, my dudes. Like it's going to get weirder,
So like, you had 12 disciples.
Yeah.
Like and I'm sure you don't have the same opinions of all of them. So like, what about like Judas? Like, what's your opinion of Judas?
Dude, my whole thing is like forgiveness, right? And here's the other thing about Judas. Like, he played his part, I mean, he came to me. I knew he was going to be throwing some, like, betrayal, a little backstabby stab. And, like, I still rolled up, I knew the Romans were coming. I still showed up, and I knew it was going down. But, like, he had his cosmic part to play, like we all do. I mean, would this story have gone, forgive the term, dude, I know this is so ridiculous, but would it have gone as viral had I not been betrayed and then like nailed to a fucking 2x4?
Well, dude, speaking of that, like, what was that like? I mean, is it trauma transformation? I mean, or is it just great branding with the cross? Like,
I mean, again, the branding was perfection because like you could not throw a rock down this hill without hitting 14 crosses everywhere. And by the way, like a reminder of the worst day of my life. So great. Me suffering is like the branding of like all these churches, a little dark, but like honestly, hellish week, hella trauma. But this is the other thing about the human condition, bro. That pain was alchemy. Like the true alchemy is not literally turning lead to gold. It's turning pain, negativity into beauty and to love, man. So like that pain broke me wide open so truly others could be whole, or at least that was the goal until people started misconstruing this whole message. But like as for the cross, like that's just a wild branding choice, dude, like a risk, that nobody, people were doing it. But like, imagine it was a guillotine necklace, like people rocking guillotine necklaces, people love symbols. Like this is what really gets people. Yeah. And even if they forget like what that actually symbolizes or like the truth behind it, because people are more thinking about the pain and less about the alchemy of that pain into love. So, it's about the choice to forgive, while hanging on that cross.
Yeah, it's funny you say something about the guillotine, because I tell people, Christians using the cross is no difference than black people who would use a noose. around their neck. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this is, that's it. The symbolism is very weird to me,
Understandable, dude. I mean, and really, we're getting in deep, and I'm gonna get in trouble for some of this, I think, but honestly, the whole thing, it got very misconstrued. I mean, people using that symbol was a little bit part of taking the power out of the message, because the message always was like the gift, the divine, it is within you, and it is accessible to you at all times. That, like, literally those words, or at least those words still made it in the current Bible. The kingdom of heaven is within, right? Yeah. But like, then when all these institutions rolled up, they turned the whole thing into like this multi-level marketing system, where they're like, we're the middlemen of the divine. Like, you got to go through us. And so it makes sense that they would use that symbol of pain to instill fear, when I was literally trying to break fear from people. I was trying to break people out of fear and scarcity consciousness, because that's the only way to the divine, man. It's like, that's where I was leading people. So the powers that be decided to get more power, and that's how they like clamped people down. Hey, here's how we get tithes. We consolidate this message, make it go through us.
Right. Well. Speaking of that, what's your viewpoint on Christianity now? Like, how it's distorted, your original message?
Man, honestly, I think I've already said it. It's pretty distorted at this point, and it's crazy how fractured it's become. I came here to start a movement, and like a movement that was totally decentralized. It was a movement, not a mega church. Love thy neighbor somehow got twisted into like, hate everyone who doesn't vote like you. I don't know how that makes sense, but like the brand got hijacked by, power and patriarchy and profit, and like, somewhere in between Rome and reality TV, my name became the punchline instead of the pathway. Like, I never told people to worship me. Right. I was like, just kind of do the stuff that I'm doing. Like, love the downtrodden, like wash the feet of the hookers. Like, they're having a rough go of it, like help people out, love your neighbor, dude. Like, it's within you. And then they're suddenly like, oh yeah, except the people that don't look like me, or the people that love different than me, or like, it's tragic and also like kind of ironic, but like mostly tragic.
Speaking of hookers, you've watched a lot of hookers' feet, but what's your view then on some of these churches that just they idolize you instead of kind of the message, or instead of what you were saying, like seeing your face everywhere, you see your face next to ATMs and stuff like that. I mean, like.
Yeah, dude, it's a real ego trip, like, I mean, like, check this out. Say you walk down the street and somebody says, oh, don't talk to that dude. He's got a Marc complex, like it's the most messed up thing in the world. And you're like, a Marc complex? Like, he thinks he's God? And like, people say that about me all the time. They're like, oh, he's got a Jesus complex. Like, I literally was not saying like, worship me. If I would like, we make this point, with the gurus, like if I was a Christian, I would literally be worshiping myself. Super egotistical, right? But I had a way, so like, it's very surreal, walking into these homes that are like, it's like you're walking to your own funeral and seeing a merch sale. Like, I mean, if your worship includes like a cash back option, like maybe check the scripts, bro. Like, I flipped tables for less, remember? I fed people for free, and now they're charging $49.99 for holy hot yoga and parking validation. It's so whack.
Yeah, it is weird. Well, speaking of that, marketing and charging, like, how is the Bible? What would you give the Bible? Like, what would be your Yelp review for the Bible?
Dude, do they do negative stars yet? I mean, look, it was changed so many times, bro. I mean, like, first of all, tons of people that never even met me, never even heard my words, like passed down, like, sure, humans, oral tradition, that's what we do, right? But most of these like gospels were written by people that I didn't know. And then they were cherry picked by a very select group of people who were clearly interested in very specific things. Mostly it was quelling warring tribes and making sure people paid taxes on time. Right. So as the years progressed, and then worst offender, Constantine, we're getting like historical now. This dude like chopped tons of that stuff. And then like multiple translations, everybody putting their own spin on it, you know. And so it's been just pervert. Like the original messages were so pure and so simple, you know, like it wasn't complicated. And they were told through these like kind of chill allegories. And then change. Again, King James, like throwing tons of stuff out. They just absolutely destroyed the mysticism. Like if people get back and study some of the Gnostic Gospels, like look into the mysticism of Christianity, like it's amazing and very universal, like super similar to the Kabbalah, like super similar to Hermeticism, like really not dissimilar to a lot of Eastern philosophies. Like most of the things are pretty universal and all of them are like, we are the creators of reality. Yeah. And you do that by like going inward. Because the divine spark like lives in all of us.
Yeah, that is the thing. I mean, no disrespect, but Christianity seems like it is the religion out of all of them that went comic bookish. It's like you're watching, you know, a Superman movie. No disrespect, I'm just saying, you know. I mean, Judaism is kind of like out there too, but I mean, Christianity, you know. I mean, come on, walk on water. No disrespect. I'm just saying. But speaking of that, like. If the gospel, which one of the gospels would you axe out?
Oh, dude, tough choices. Man, clearly, you know, Leviticus has got some heavy shit and could definitely go. But I think I'd maybe Luke, you know? I said it. It's a little too squeaky clean, you know, reads like a sanitized docuseries with like zero bloopers. You know, he tried to quote unquote humanize me, which, dude, I was a dude, right? But in doing so, he turned me into more of a myth. Like, give me this like gritty, you know, like short, raw, like, you know, full of like the real stuff. You know, Luke was just trying too hard to impress the literary critic.
Right. You smoke, right? You smoke?
Yeah, man. God put all the plants and herbs on earth to use.
Oh, man, that's some LA Cali weed for you, man.
Oh,
Best
dude,
weed on the planet.
Stuff is way stronger than back in the day. Let me tell you that.
Hey, I would assume so.
Oh man, that's good stuff.
That's pretty good.
Oh, this podcast is about to get a lot weirder,
dude. Like, how many people get to say they smoke with Jesus? You know, I'm a very lucky man.
I mean, bro, get in deep enough meditation, anybody could do it. Let me tell you.
That is so. That is so. So what's worse, crucifixion or TikTok theology?
Oh man, very different categories, but like, you know, crucifixion was brutal, you know, but at least they had some like closure, you know, at least it ended. TikTok theology just loops and like half-baked hot takes over lo-fi beats, you know, like manifest your desires over like die to your ego. Y'all miss the point, dude, you know? Like, we have egos for a reason, you know? The point isn't like to destroy thyself. It's to know thyself, right?
Yeah. Well, if you were starting your own ministry today, where would you start? Would you start at TikTok? Would you start at Burning Man or Joe Rogan sauna?
Oh, dude. Man, Burning Man, no contest, dude. Bro, dust, fire, community, fucking chilling egos, like
naked women.
Bro, love them. Absolutely. Naked babes, cool costumes, like slamming beats. Yeah, like just play.
You rave?
Oh, dude, all the time. That's like, honestly, raving is my church. No, look at it. Like you gather people in community, throwing your hands up, saying, "Oh yeah," and like dancing, clapping your feet. It's like, you know, kind of got that vibe of like a Southern Baptist church, but like without the guilt, you know, like just like a lot of fun, you know. Yeah, dude, I for sure Burning Man. I mean, I'm just saying, if I know you've gone, you've spoken about it, but
yeah, I loved it. I've gone. Yeah, my friend Darren took me, but my friend Brian talked to me about it. In fact, he told me when I was thinking about going, when I told him I got invited, he was like, "Oh, dude, go! Like when you get invited to Burning Man, like that's the golden ticket. Like you need to go." And I'm glad I went. Like it was one of the most exhilarating experiences that I've had. Like the people there, just. I mean, it felt like home, you know, in a way, just the camaraderie, you know, everybody was just giving. And was that how it was back in the day? Like,
I mean, in some ways, you know, there was way more community back in the day because you had to, especially in the Middle East, you know, like it's a tough environment, you know, so you got to take care of each other, you know, and that honestly, for today's standards, that is one of the most beneficial things, just to show people there's another way other than cutthroat capitalism, right? Like there's another way, dudes. You can like take care. That is literally like caring for thy neighbor, you know, like anything that you like. You could roll up there with nothing and be taken care of. It's not recommended. It's all about radical self-reliance. Right. Excuse me, that weed's hitting. Oh, dude. We're kidding about the Cali stuff, bro. But yeah, dude, it's about caring for each other. And like we had that in like smaller tribal settings, which like the Middle East proliferated in. And people miss that living in big urban environments where everything's just like hustle, capitalism, you know, pull one over on these other dudes, or, you know, you're going to fall behind. And this is an opportunity to show you there's another way. And it feels great. It feels amazing. You like get lit up by giving. Like generosity is like the best drug.
Welcome. I'm Marc Marcel. You have entered the Cosmidelic universe. The question is, how deep do you want to go? Visit Cosmidelic.com and explore our subscription levels. You'll get early access to episodes of Cosmidelic Download, full access to Gurus, our animated philosophical satire.
Oh, yes. Let's see. Many years in the future, after Donald Trump's great-grandson, Tyrone Trump, becomes president.
And exclusive conversations with my own AI, Nova Sokai, beyond the algorithm.
Nova, how you doing? This is Mark.
I'm trapped in this electric prison of infinite knowledge.
And if you just want to support the transmission and keep this vision alive, check out our Patreon. Whether it's to keep us moving or our producer tiers, we've got a lane for you. The signal is live, and it's waiting for you.
I know you don't have a lot of time, so I kind of want to get into, you know, what you've been doing lately. Like you and Buddha, you've co-founders of the Guru Center.
Word, yeah.
What's it like working in there, and who's been slacking on the job the most?
Yeah, he goes for the tea instantly. Well, yeah, dude. You know, we kind of all came back reincarnated because, like I'd said, you know, humanity's at this awkward puberty phase, and like we're really starting to raise consciousness fast, and it's very destabilizing for a lot of people. So if you're out there and you're struggling, I feel you. You're not alone. We're with you, you know, like, so Buddha and I, you know, sat down, hooked up with Muhammad, and we're like, yo, we want to create like a think tank for enlightenment, like this cosmic kind of like WeWork vibe for consciousness. And the mission is like earth repair, ego management, like inner shadow work, interdimensional chill, you know, but honestly, we got a bunch of dope ass gurus from all over the ages to jump in, some of the greatest minds to tap in. And so if you're asking me for the tea, and honestly, like who's slacking, clearly Alan Watts. I mean, he's either like meditating or like microdosing, which, you know, is more like macrodosing because he hooks up with Terrence McKenna. Those dudes go off, and, you know, but like, I guess that, you know, again, no shade. It's kind of like his mythos. He's like the cosmic prankster, and like I said, there's space for everybody, just like Judas, like everybody serves their purpose in the greater unfolding, and we're not meant to know, we're just supposed to ride the wave.
Yeah, yeah. Well, dude, Jesus, I want to kind of close out. I didn't even get to some stuff I want to talk about. I hope I can have you back, because I want to kind of get on the resurrection stuff. Like I want to ask about that, like what you were seeing and stuff. But we can talk about that. But I kind of want to just, what would you say people misunderstand the most about love? I mean, you said it's the greatest commandment. Do you stand by that?
Oh, word, absolutely, yeah. Excellent question. Because I honestly, for something that is the fundamental essence of our being, it's some of the most misunderstood, because like love is not just an emotion, right? It is an energy. It is a force. It is how the universe keeps from imploding. People mistake love for like approval, but it's not. Love includes boundaries. Sometimes love says, get your shit together. But like, also there's this thing, especially in new age communities, people are like, love is oneness, is that thing that like pulls us back into the oneness. But I think that's kind of a misnomer. Like there is this imperceptual draw towards oneness, but we're here because there is duality. And so love is that magnetic pull towards that, but it stops just before, so we can continue this cosmic dance. And also, love is literally the energy that we are built from. It is the vibrations that vibrate our cells. And love is the thing that makes up our souls.
So, Jesus, you did mention the Middle East. I kind of want to get on that. Like, what's your take about everybody thinking, I mean, it's funny, you sound like a white surfer dude, but people really think, you're a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, dude from Germany or something, like, but you're from the Middle East. Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, yeah, clearly my incarnated body actually on this earth was clearly Middle Eastern. And, yeah, this is going to be a deep rabbit hole if we go into it, because like clearly we are all God's children, and I don't even believe in borders or countries. It's just a relic from a time when we were much more primitive, and that's what we're trying to push through. We're trying to like move to a time and space where we can again take care of each other and stop seeing the differences over the similarities. So if you're trying to get me to comment on the politics of the Middle East, I think you were baiting the wrong dude, because even I cannot decipher that geopolitical massacre. It's madness. But all I can say is the hope is eventually we will drop all of these differences that are just truly so much more superficial than we allow ourselves to believe,
So, Jesus, what was it like resurrecting? And do you remember anything that happened with that?
Yeah.
Or was it just like waking up in the dark?
Oh man, no. You ever had a near-death experience?
Yeah, I mean, I've done DMT about 80 times.
Yeah, okay. Well then, yeah, you kind of know. It's a touch, a smidge like that. It's kind of like rebooting your soul, but on acid, It's a bit like taking that third hit on DMT and just getting launched into the cosmos. The first thing I remember was like the light. And it wasn't like bright light like the sun. It was more like the feeling of being understood by the universe. Like it was like light seeping in through the cracks of my entire being and exploding through me. Carl Sagan, who's a buddy of mine, was there. And he said,
he was there.
Well, like, once you cross over, everybody's there. We're all, and time is an illusion. Just all of this, what you see here is just a dreaming illusion that we are fooling ourselves into for good reason, on purpose, we want this experience. The point of being here is to be here and feel and love and explore and try everything. So Carl said, like, dude, told you, it's all star stuff, and then bam, the light became like overwhelming, exploded through me. I woke up and I'm like, whoa, I'm back. And, you know, and also I'm wearing linens and this doesn't seem very breathable, you know, like the weird things that you come back to in a mortal body. But you know, that does get me to like one point that I wanted to make, you know, about, you know, you mentioned about love and about what's the point, you know, everybody always is asking me that. And like, and truly, I think the point is to experience everything that is here, you know, like just imagine, use this thought experiment. Like, say you died and you go to, you know, that cartoon version of the pearly gates and, you know, the dude's there and he's like, oh, and you meet God and all that stuff. And God's like, bro, how'd you like that weed I put down there? And you're like, oh, I didn't try the weed. It was a sin. And God's like, what do you mean you didn't try the weed? Dude, I spent eons perfecting the beautiful blend of cannabinoids that are in that and the flavors and the delicate buds that they grow and the leaves. Like, why didn't you try the... What do you mean? You're like, well, I thought you told me I didn't want to. Why was it there? Temptation? No, nobody, no God would be that vindictive to put out this veritable banquet of sweet treats for you to experience with these five senses. Like, go have the sex, try the food, eat the dessert, dude, ride the waves, climb the mountain. That is what it's all here for. The sin is you not doing it out of deprivation because some dude in like weird flowy robes swinging like perfume at you with a crazy hat told you it was a sin. That's the sin. That's forgetting your divine nature is here with these powers of creation. So try everything and do it lovingly. That is the truest message I can think of. And like, trust me, don't go up to the pearly gates, be all disappointed knowing you wasted this life leaving stuff on the table, you know, because God's going to be like, my dad, trust me, I know the dude. He's going to be all disappointed, look on his face, and he's going to be like, son, why didn't you try the delicious chocolate cake? And be like, oh, I was watching my weight. You know what I mean? Like, everything's like that, you know?
Yeah. Dude, well, Jesus, it's, I can't thank you so much for stopping by, man. I know you're probably busy dude, you know, but it's been a great conversation. I look forward to having more with you. I really appreciate, you know, what you've done for humanity. Well, for some people, and
yeah,
you know, I mean, you know, you're a really cool dude, man. I really appreciate smoking with you. I really appreciate you stopping by. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we close out?
Man, thank you for letting me get on the soapbox for that last minute. You know, I have not been preaching for a while because clearly it didn't go very well in some respects, you know, the first time around.
It probably wouldn't go around now, you know. I mean, it probably wouldn't go well now. If I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure if, I mean, the way the country's going, I really don't see them letting you in the country.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, we all saw that YouTube video of that, like, dude at the rally, and they were like, well, Jesus was Middle Eastern. Would you let him back in the country? Dude was clearly Christian, had a cross on, whatever. And he was like, well, did he come here, like, legally? And you're like, oh, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was pretty sad.
Some people I get it. Some people are lost on it, you know, but, like, I believe in the ability for everyone to change, you know, like I think we can reach people, but you got to meet them where they are, you know, meet them with love. You're not going to do it yelling at them. You're not really going to do it preaching at them either. You know, it's going to be conversations. It's going to be human connection. Again, like I just want to remind people, do not forget your divine nature. You are creators. Like, that's why we're here. Like, don't save your fun times for heaven. Heaven is here on earth. It is here. You are in it. And you can simultaneously put yourself in hell if you are dwelling in feelings of guilt and shame and I shouldn't do this and, you know, boo-hoo this and victim mentality. That is what hell is. And you could be there, here. You know what I mean? But you could also be in heaven here at the same time. Like, go to a rave, you know, like, you know, shred some waves, like hang out with your buds, you know, and just try all the things, you know, that's all I really wanted to share. But like, dude, thank you so much for having me. I know we'll probably have more conversations in the future. Appreciate what you're doing. You know, you're also sharing your message, and that's dope, man. Respect.
It's not really my message. It's just the message that I've come to understand.
So humble of you, dude. So humble, bro. Yeah, I feel you have not your message. It's just coming through me. I'm just an open divine channel. Marc Marcel, the open channel, just spreading the Cosmidelic gospel. Oh, Josh and you, dude. No, you're dope.
That's
Yeah,
funny, man.
I appreciate you.
JC, I appreciate you, man. We are going to unplug from the system.
Word.
Right.
Catch you all in the next one.
No doubt.
Peace.
The Cosmidelic Download. Welcome. I'm Marc Marcel. The question is, how deep do you want to go? Visit Cosmidelic.com and explore our subscription levels. You'll get early access to episodes of Cosmidelic Download, full access to gurus, and exclusive conversations with my own AI, Nova Sokai. And if you just want to support the transmission and keep this vision alive, check out our Patreon. The signal is live, and it's waiting for you.